Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're here with friend of the show, Michael Libby. He's filling in for Doc because everybody knows that I can't be trusted with the reins solo, and that's a self-imposed.
Really?
That's a self-imposed restriction. We did it one time. Doc was out of town, and go to the archives for this if we can do it. If you want to go down a YouTube rabbit hole, but it was the Tuesday after Margaret Thatcher passed away.
Oh.
And we didn't have anybody lined up. I had no guests. I had nobody call in. And I basically did this 1 hour long monologue about Margaret Thatcher. That was just...
The Iron Lady.
Oh, man. It was, I thought that I was mesmerizing. And really, I wasn't. I was putting people to sleep left and right, which was something that Margaret Thatcher didn't do. And it's something that I think the electorate is afraid that Hillary Clinton kind of does. She's kind of establishment. She's kind of boring. What do you need to see out of Hillary Clinton tonight, do you think?
Well, Hillary Clinton's big change has been the fact that she's the kinder, softer, friendlier Hillary Clinton. Mm-hmm. And I think we're going to continue to see that. But she is so... Did the Cubs win?
Not yet. Almost.
Okay. We're doing this in real time, ladies.
I know. I apologize.
I just saw you genuflect over there, and I thought that it was some kind of a prayer sequence or something that...
Well, we could talk about that maybe off the air.
but it's become the kinder, gentler Hillary Clinton, and I think she needed to do that because she was the Iron Lady in 2008. She messed up here in Iowa terribly. Barack Obama comes out from nowhere and did a masterful job. And there's still enough Hillary hate out there, I think. I think she really resonates. And let me just give you this thought process. I think Hillary really resonates with women for the obvious reasons. I think Hillary resonates with policy wonks, clearly. But when we start to talk about new, fresh, enduring, new stuff, kind of starts to fade a little bit, and I think that's what we're seeing. And not so much that Bernie Sanders, Senator Sanders, is so great on those things, but he's so refreshing because he's saying, look, we've got to get corporate money out of politics. We've got to beat back big pharma. We've got to have a national health care insurance program. We've got to pay a livable wage, not just a minimum wage. And it's all tied to economic realities in this country. And he is so good at that. And people are going, yeah. Why not? And so I think we're going to see a lot of pushback from Hillary, but it'll be softer and gentler.
Well, I think I think you make a good point, and I wonder if Hillary and Bernie are Senators Sanders and Clinton are of the same generation. Basically, they're the same. They're the same political generation, both liberal folks. And yet, Hillary is from that wing of the party that that changed the Democrats from sort of the Carter Democrats, the incrementalists of the Clinton era in the 90s. And I believe that Hillary is still a disciple of that style of leadership. That she would rather get the small victory than take the big miss. And I think politics has been dominated by that for the last 25 years, which is why we see so much energy from the flanks both on the right and on the left. It's just that the ideas on the right would rule the country.
They're tired of the fact that we're just incrementally doing incrementally doing these things. And,
yes,
and I think people are frustrated with that. And besides, I have to think that you mentioned both of Senator Sanders and also Secretary Clinton, but only one of those two people, only one, spent any time in shul on Yom Kippur. So I got to go with the guy, a fellow landsman.
Hey, I can't fault you on that. Although I expect that if you were to bring that up to Hillary, she would grab a head covering and she would say that she not only had she been there, but she helped build the place. And
I'm sure.
and that's the thing, is that she can't pander the way Bill could pander. She's
no Bill Clinton.
No, she's not. And isn't that a shame? But so we talked a little bit about that. And so the other two, so you got, and I believe, well, it hasn't come across yet, but I believe that my beloved Chicago Cubs just won.
There you go.
The game 4.
So now
of the.
So that means what?
That means that I can focus completely on you and give.
No. I mean.
Oh, that means they advance to the National League Championship Series and face the winner of the Mets Dodgers.
Very nice.
That's one of the things I love most about baseball. You have the Mets who've been around since the 60s. The Dodgers have been around since sort of the founding of baseball in the early part of the 20th century, first in Brooklyn, then in L.A. The Cubs, as old a team as any. The Cardinals, as old a team as any. You've got all these great old teams that have had great seasons. And Chicago beat Pittsburgh, one of the oldest teams in baseball. It's if you like history and you like sort of tradition in that way, it's been a really fun season. But
said Tevye tradition.
Hey, love. No, that was the fiddler, right?
Yeah.
Of course, an old song and dance guy like myself would know that. But so we've been talking about the Democrats, and we've named 3 of them. We have Lincoln Chafee, who's just not. He doesn't. I mean, it's nice that he's there, but it's not.
I visited with Lincoln Chafee a couple of weeks ago, and
he's the only guy that's been consistently good on the environment.
Yeah, and he's kind of a one-issue guy as far as that goes. But he's a real champion of many of those types of things. I was at a function with Lincoln Chafee as well as Ben and Jerry from Ben and Jerry's Ice Cream.
Oh, sure,
which was kind of fun. And you talk about some real interesting individuals who have the environment at heart. And here's a very interesting thing. Very successful business. I do a business radio talk show.
Yes,
and so I'm always intrigued by very successful liberal business people because the media and others would portray individuals who are liberals or progressives as being unkind to business, and they don't like business, and business is an anathema to them, but it's not at all. And there's Ben and Jerry who do everything according to the playbook for the progressives in this country, and they're extremely successful.
Liberals, it's not that we hate making money. It's that we think that it's possible to make money and be not horrible.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I mean, that's a reductive way of saying that we don't. That's not the only thing that we think about when we're making money for the shareholders.
You mean a $355 million annual paycheck for a CEO of a company is not in line with progressive thinking?
Boy, if if I'm being honest with myself, Michael, I wouldn't hate making $350 million dollars a year. But boy, I would probably be okay with $1 million or
I had a friend
or 400,000.
I had a good friend of mine say something to me a long time ago, and he was talking about taxes and wealth. And he said, paying taxes is the patriotic thing to do.
Right.
Paying taxes is the patriotic thing to do because we got a country to run, for crying out loud. And it's it's the stewardship of those funds that comes into question.
Well, and you see that, and we're coming up on a break, but I'm going to leave you with this thought. Maybe we'll explore this when we talk about some of the things that are going on the Republican side here in the second half hour. But when I talk to my conservative and Republican friends, that is almost always their number one complaint. Where you say, hey, you hate paying taxes. And they say, no, we don't hate paying taxes. No, well, because you want the police. Of course you want the police. You want the firefighters. Of course you want the firefighters. And you want, you want affordable education for your kids. Of course you want affordable education for your kids.
Not necessarily.
A lot of them will say that.
If we can voucher it, that'd be
right. Well, it's still kind of affordable, and it's tax, and they want it subsidized for sure because they don't have to pay the whole bill. And I say, well, then, so what's the problem with taxes? They say, well, if I had more of a say, because I don't like it when people that I don't think deserve it get my money. Now, leave that thought there. We're going to take another break. Please check out our sponsors, Bertrosh & Associates, Labinas Law Firm, Halo Capital, Des Moines Anesthesia at 515-574-6442. Check us out, Doc and Lefty. I know we've got some blogs. I might be able during the break to talk my good friend Michael Libby into doing a guest blog for the website here. But please check that stuff out. We're on Facebook, Twitter, and we will be back in just a short